So it's being said that Ted Cruz was caught sleeping during
Biden's speech.
Yesterday, which is Wednesday. He responded, said the speech was boring but radical, both on social media and interviews. Biden suggested raising social nets of various sorts, increasing Medicare, lowering Medicare age, or option for Medicare aid. He spoke a lot about teachers, children, vaccines,
curing cancer.
it's a big one. So at least some of those are possible at this point. I guess we'll see. He wants to. He said, "I think we can cure cancer." He said it seriously too. He said, "We can cure cancer." My mouth opened when he said that, and that was early on in his speech too. That was around 25 minutes in. He
full on cure cancer mode.
So. I don't know who told him to say that. And then you had Pelosi and Harris behind the scenes just shaking their heads the whole time. And back to the point. Cruz says, Joe's deliberately being boring, but what he is saying is radical. And I agree with that. Everything he said was quite radical. It was very, very radical. Lowering the Medicare age, which the Democrats want to lower it to 50, which would be basically universal health care. If you start getting there, then it's a slippery slope, and it'll go to 40, and once it gets to 40, it'll go to 30, and once it gets to 30, it's consistent. So you can't really drop it that much. Everything he's saying is quite radical. He talked about taxes. He talked about raising the taxes on people that make over $1 million. He didn't speak the facts on the situation, which is anybody making over $400,000 is going to be paying more, and that's kind of the issue. It's you raise the capital gains yield, they're taxed. There's a lot of things he didn't talk about, and there's a lot of things he did talk about that were incredibly heavily left-leaning, and that's a bit of the issue. Is he didn't, there was no sort of mid-tones in his speech to Congress. There was nothing. So many people online called Ted Cruz Sleepy Ted as a result of
him falling asleep during the speech.
Which, let me tell you right now, I would fall asleep too. After he said
cured cancer,
I would have to go. I would probably be awake actually, because it's so mind-numbingly stupid that I'd have to stay awake to hear whatever the hell else he said. But the rest of it was just bogus. It was bogus. I mean, he's saying a bunch of stuff, but there's no way he can do all of it. I mean, it's like the Democrats have been writing him letters for a very long time, and he's trying to get to the things that they want him to get to, but he can't get to all of those things. He's been in office for 10 months. That's amazing to think about, because it feels like it's been 4 months. It doesn't feel quite long at all. I thought he'd been in office for 4 months. Not 10 months. What is it? Took office January, February, March, April, May. Oh, it's been 5 months. Therefore, he hadn't really done anything. He's been president for 10 months, I believe, because the election that's only 7, whatever. He got the stimulus bill passed. Kamala Harris been laughing
about like dead kids and stuff. I mean,
that's really the extent of their campaign. Is stimulus passed and laughing at children dying. That's it. I personally don't find the last one funny, but maybe they do. I mean, I know abortion's a hot topic for them, and it's a topic for a different day, but regardless, Ted Cruz has the right plan here. Catch some Z's while listening to a disease. That's really it. I just fell asleep in the crowd. There weren't very many crowd there. Everyone was spaced out for social distancing, and they had masks on. And everybody behind Biden, I believe, had masks on. I don't know if they're still pushing the mask thing, even though I think half of the people in the country have the vaccine at this point, and the CDC and Biden came out and said that you're allowed to not wear masks if you're hanging out with people that have gotten the vaccine, and you have the vaccine as well. So yeah, it was very radical. Biden was incredibly radical yesterday. He was, but it didn't seem like it was him that was speaking. It seemed like he was a pawn for the higher power. He was saying a bunch of things that just seemed forced. It seemed like a ploy, and I don't know if he'll be able to get any of them done. I don't know if he has enough time. From seeing what he's been able to accomplish, he doesn't have enough time, because all the things he talked about were sweeping legislation. So I guess we'll see, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening. So